It's triune. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Punatu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti. Could you just kind of half shut the door so we can someone come? Yeah, can tell him. So we come to the last verse in this Upanishad. And like we mentioned before, we will take up the Katha Upanishad on Wednesday, next Wednesday. And we'll have just one class a week. Let's see, let's proceed and then we'll see how things work out. Yeah. A lot of classes. I mean, almost every day, got to give a class.
1 good 3-hour class. That'll be good.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
Not sarcastic.
Ah, I'll see the fitness of the recipients. Yasya deve para bhakti yata deve tata guru tasete katita hayarta prakashante mahatmana. One who has supreme devotion to the deity and as much of it to the guru as to the deity, to him indeed, to that great souled one, these subject matters that have been spoken become revealed. So the whole of this Upanishads, not only this Upanishad, it means all of the Upanishads. Can we get it for the asking? Not for the asking. One will have to have devotion. And devotion to whom? As much to God or as that much to the Guru. By knowing that God and the Guru are one. So this is in Indian traditions. This is the highest point. To see that there is no difference between the Guru and God. God has appeared as a Guru. And as we keep on meditating on that, then devotion grows. So we'll take this up step by step. There's always a discussion whether devotion was taught in the Upanishads or no. Yes, this is a clear reference to devotion. In the older Upanishads, you had something called Shraddha, faith. And the commentator here says, one who has faith as well as steadiness, both. What is faith? Faith. Faith is if you're looking out for something. There's an old, you can say, joke. Nasiruddin Mullah. There are kind of a quite common small jokes and kind of with a moral ending. So a few guys looking at Nasiruddin Mullah. Mullah is a priest, and his name was Nasiruddin in Baghdad, probably. And he's searching for something under the light, under the street lamp. It's okay. So what are you searching for? I dropped some coins, Really? After both of them search for a while, you're sure you dropped it? I dropped it actually out there. Were you searching here? Well, there's light here. At least you knew what you were searching for. There are people who don't know what they're looking for. So, what are you looking for? Okay, the reality. Yes. Now that is fixed in you. All right, all right. And that is called faith. The conviction in the reality, in the existence of the reality, is that faith. Okay, that is very important. It's like otherwise, we know where the reality is. Yes, the Upanishads say it's here deep down the core of my heart that reality shines. But what are we doing? We are searching elsewhere in the objects. That is the problem. Come back here and seek that reality. That's number one. There was Swami Vivekananda's disciple, and he was quite a advanced soul. And the monk whom I knew had met him many, many years back in a place called Vrindavan. He had come. So they used to ask him, have you realized uh, this search that you have said? Have you realized that? Have you realized God? So he used to say, you see, by Swami Vivekananda's grace, he used to do like this. I've realized. That is the Guru, that's the place here on the 1,000 petal lotus, white lotus. And this is the place where the God, as a chosen ideal, lives, stays.
Is there what?
As stays here on a red lotus. You have 8 petals or 12 petals, 8 petals generally. So his realization was his Guru and his Ishta Devata, chosen ideal. He has realized the identity of that is. Okay. So when we are in the process of searching this reality, we have various paths, the path of knowledge, the work of yoga. Bhakti, devotion, is a kind of a motor that drives every path, every search. Because that is what motivates you. Devotion. If you have no devotion, what will life be? Now, how do you cultivate devotion? You don't have to cultivate devotion, you already have. What is that? Oh, that's called love. Oh, I see. When love is, for the ego or for the object, it becomes kind of worldly. That same love, when it is directed towards a reality, faith with the faith that and the conviction that it is here, it becomes devotion. It becomes bhakti, endowed with love. Wherever there is life, wherever, anywhere, it has to have love. We may see some creatures dry and sometimes ugly. Even in them, there is love. So that's the reason why I say that wherever there's life, there's love.
You say bliss as well?
Hmm?
Bliss.
Oh,
You in the heart.
yeah. That love confers bliss. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, who would love? You fail once and then again you want to love. Why do you make that mistake again? You're stupid. That's my nature to love. What can I do? Okay. So yasya means to that person. What are the qualifications? To the great souled one. Why has that person become great souled? Mahatma. Great soul. Why? Because of this devotion to the Guru and God equally. And then what happens? You see, all these truths that has been spoken of in the Upanishad become revealed spontaneously. Yes, they reveal themselves spontaneously. That person will not have to go to a rigorous, you can say, course of austerities, disciplines, or whatever.
Rigorous what?
Disciplines, spiritual disciplines, or austerities. So this is a competent person. Why he is a competent person? He or she is a competent person because of devotion. Swami Vivekananda, in his letter he writes to one of his brother disciples, and that is complaining about his other brother disciple, Niranjan Maharaj. Oh, that guy. But you see, he has great devotion to the Holy Mother.
Is what?
He has great devotion to the Holy Mother, Swami Anjanananda. And that's why you can forgive all his faults.
Was he an Ishwarapati?
Yes. Yeah.
Which means that devotion will be natural to it, and love will be natural.
Oh, yes.
So even these really high yogis, they find faults within others. Is that the same way that we?
No, not
Okay.
no,
Okay.
not the way, not kind of defects. This guy is defect. The guru will tell you certain things about yourself, which you do not know, which hurt you, and which you have been hiding away from. That is a kind of a surgeon's knife, Well, you need to go under the knife. It's going to cure you. So you'll say, oh, that guy, he has a knife. I'm not going to go there. It's like that. So to bring out the best in within you, that is the idea. So the word used is supreme devotion. One has kind of supreme. Now, the path of bhakti has got two stages. One is the preliminary stage called the Gauni, and the higher para. So here the word used para bhakti. When you are kind of doing a pilgrimage, repeating the name of God so many times, worshipping, praying, all these are kind of building up that, you can say, the power of devotion within you. You go through gradually as things build up. It's like a river that's being dammed. What happens? The water accumulates so much behind the dam that the dam bursts. So Parabhakti is like the dam bursting. The soul simply pours itself out towards the object of love, object of devotion. So there, Sri Ramakrishna, one time, he was there, and the recorder of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is saying, perhaps you want to do your evening rituals, meditation. Oh, nothing like that. He thought Sri Ramakrishna was still in that stage of preparatory or preliminary devotion. Sri Ramakrishna's soul had burst forth, and it tears away all the confines. That soul which has love pours itself to the feet of the Lord. It's a tremendous feeling. It's a kind of a madness of love. You don't care for the world. You don't care for anything. There's one story, Swami Vivekananda said. There was one mullah, the priest, Muslim priest, who was praying. And, they do the namaz, bow down. And there was another God intoxicated, another saint from another religion called Guru Nanak. He was walking and he happened to, hurt this person while he was walking, in the sense of his foot stepped on his hand or something like that. Priest got so annoyed. Don't you see I'm praying? And you took him to the judge. I was praying and this is like, this guy comes and brushes against me violently. Well, the saint says, actually, he wasn't praying. What? Yeah. He was thinking of his chickens.
There you go.
So the judge scowls at this mullah. Is it true? Yes. While I was praying, I was thinking actually of my chickens. So if that was another similar story saying, why? There was a very great mystic woman, and something like this had happened, and that praying Muslim scolds her. You wanton woman, you running about here and there. Can't you see I'm praying? Well, I am thinking of my lover, and I'm oblivious to the world, and you are thinking of God, and you're attentive to me or to who brushed against you or something like that. You also should have been oblivious to the world. That's the idea. You've got to be oblivious. That comes in the higher stages of devotion, when you just don't care for anything that are pulling you down, dragging you away. No. So this is what they're saying, para bhakti. So like you have that devotion to the Guru, same devotion if you have for God, knowing that actually both of them are one. In a way, in the higher stages of devotion, God, that's another triangle. Guru and the devotee are actually made of one stuff. Then in the final stages, the Guru merges in the chosen ideal. Shri Ram Krishna says, here is the chosen ideal. And the Guru merges. And one of the disciples says, well, the Guru lost forever. No, the Guru is not lost. It was God with it. And then even in the higher stages of devotion, the devotee merges in that reality called God. Yes, because what happens is you are now connected with the Guru and God through the mantra. You're meditating, you're taking name, this, that, slowly. The triangle becomes smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. You got the idea? The
Yes.
triangle, yeah, it becomes smaller and smaller, smaller. And then it merges into one point. That is what it is. So it is just that there is no difference between the Guru and God. And also, there's no difference between the Guru, God, and you. Otherwise, it will be a kind of a, if somebody is different from what he or she is trying to attain, it will be very difficult. We are of the same nature as that. So that's the reason why this devotion is a kind of connecting link, connects all the three together. And slowly they kind of get closer and closer and closer and closer. You might manifest certain qualities of the Guru. That happens because you have been meditating on that person. Then after a while, you simply cannot excise or cut away God from your personality. It has become part of you. Imagine after all these years of praying and devotion, saying, I have nothing to do with this God business. I want to discard it. You can't. Your personality has blended with that. This is the work of devotion. And this is the progress on spiritual life. How much of your personality has blended into this Guru and God? That is a kind of test. This vision and that vision, you're talking about visions. Yes, kind of they are milestones. Okay, but this is the real test. How much of, you can say, part of that reality which you're thinking about, meditating about, has become a part of you. Yeah,
How can that be higher than the absolute vision of God really is?
yeah, not highest in the sense relatively high. Ah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
always go to the highest.
You bet I did.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And how do you know when that has happened? The fusion, the triumph. Okay. How do you know that's occurred in oneself?
This I merges into God's I, and you will know God speaks through you, works through you. You will be more aware of God's presence within you, in you, than your separate personality or your ego. So that's why they say that. There's a kind of, and that's the reason why they say, oh, it takes a long time. Oh, it does take a long time, but that's the process. You're merging gradually into the other. So one who has supreme devotion to the deity, yatra devi para bhakti. Deity, as we have seen, the very beginning of this Upanishad, this deity was shown as a cause of this universe. Devatma Shakti Swagunaiva. In that reality, that deity, this whole universe exists. And that is the cause of the universe. So we must go to the worshipping other smaller deities for smaller things. You get a quick response. I remember one time when I had gone to Calcutta and I seen, oh, this Calcutta, everybody worships Kali. And I was going around and seeing, oh my God, every corner we have some temple of Kali, kind of small shrine. No, on the road you'll get one. And people stand there and worship and go crazy. I said, yeah, this is really the city of Kali worshippers. Saying, what? You see that temple, small temple, the shrine. Well, you go and see closely. And then when closely, not all were temples or shrines of that Kali. There were also temples or shrines of something called Shani. They were worshipping a deity which is a kind of a planet, Satan. Really, it's kind of black and this and that. It resembles Kali. I said, oh, there you are. Why do they worship this planet? Well, this planet, the god of the planet, the presiding deity of the planet, quickly answers prayers. Quickly answers prayers. So if you go to these lower deities, which are plenty, I want this, I want that, I want this. No. Oh. You get an answer. But then they tie you down. He's my worshipper. And he's not going to go anywhere else. But then if we want the highest, we'll have to keep God, the Supreme God, as our ideal. And then proceed step by step towards this. Guru is the word also means that, or the one who dispels darkness. Guru and Ru. So What is the deity? The deity is the shiny one, it's called. And the Guru also is the one that dispels darkness. So here we have what darkness? We are sitting in the light. That's the darkness of ignorance.
That was it.
Ignorance or non-knowledge. You see. So when the heart is purified, well, the heart is purified, then what? All these things come spontaneously. Sri Ramakrishna had a disciple called Swami Adbhutananda. He was a rustic, came from a rustic background, came to a city to find employment, and somehow managed to find employment in a devotee's house. And the devotee was devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. He brought him one day to Dakshineshwar. He looked at, where did you get this guy? The young boy? "No." After a while, I think, leave this boy along with me. I need help. "Oh, I'll be glad." Okay. So, since he never knew how to read or write, so Sri Ramakrishna took the trouble of teaching him the alphabet. And then the accent. One of them was the ka, and Sri Ramakrishna ka, and he's the ka. Ah! If you say ka for ka, then what will you say for ka? Because ka, ki is ka. And he tried several days, Sri Ramakrishna couldn't teach him. Good. Disgusted. Forget it. You don't need to study. You don't have to read. We told him, one day the truths of the Vedas and Vedanta will come out of your lips. How come? He never even knew how to read or write. Well, his heart had become pure. And all these truths manifest themselves. That's why in the Yoga Sutras also they say that all these disciplines are kind of tough disciplines. We do this, and after this, the next unfolds, and then the third unfolds when this is complete. It takes lifetimes to complete one stage. But then the author of the aphorism says, Pratibhat va sarvam. Through the purity of the heart, everything is realized. Yeah. Blessed are the pure, we shall see God. Said those guys who are kind of literate and articulate, they will realize nothing like that. So purity is the condition for the realization. So it does not matter if you can read Sanskrit or you can't read Sanskrit, or you can read English or you can't read nothing. This is speaking about reality. And what are these words? These words are just a kind of indication. Suppose I'm going to point out that is Raja Maharaja's picture. You turn towards that. You don't turn towards the finger. People, many of these scholars and all, what happens is they keep on looking at this finger. What's the angle? What's direction? Is it long? Is it short? All books are like that. You're supposed to turn your attention to the picture, Raja Maharaj. So it's like, there's a saying in Sanskrit, like, the ass or the donkey doesn't know the price of the sandalwood he is carrying. He knows only the weight. Yata karasya chandana bharavayu bharasya vetanatu chandanasya. That's what. We are burdened with this book and that book and this book and that book, and we have read this and we read that. There was Sri Ramakrishna gives another example. So there was something like this, big pandit, and he was taking crossing a river, and there were other passengers in the boat. So a storm rose as they just lifted off anchor, and they were in the middle of this river. that before the storm rose, the Pandit is asking, trying to show off. Do you know Sankhya philosophy? No. You? Do you know it? And kept on asking, do you know this? Do you know that? Do you know the Vedas? Do you know the Upanishads? Do you know this? No, I don't know it. So the poor guy said that. When the storm arose, this guy asking the Pandit, do you know how to swim? It's like that.
That's how it is.
That's how it is. So I've read so many books. So what is you are going to drown now? So that's the reason why, if these teachings can help cultivate devotion to the deity, that's perfect. It's perfect. If it doesn't, they become kind of stumbling blocks. And after a while, you get confused yourself. Like when you're studying one philosophy, the Western philosophy. The Western philosophy is huge. Okay, you start with Aristotle, and then Aristotle. And then somebody else comes and says, you know, this guy who was called Nietzsche? And then, yeah, and he'll use Nietzsche's arguments and demolish Aristotle's arguments. There you are. What's my life worth then? Nothing. So, intellectually, you're always open to something that will topple your intellectual structure. And there you are. But when you have devotion, nobody's going to topple you. You don't become confused. In fact, devotion clears the path. So, Swami Vivekananda also says, if there's a conflict between the head and the heart, listen to the heart, for it is true. So here it is. And then these truths that have been spoken here, they shine forth in that person. Prakasham, they say. These subject matters that have been spoken become revealed and shine. Actually, shine. It's called, the word actually is prakashante, is shine, to shine. Now, this person does not have any way else but to realize this. It's like when the higher devotion arises, it's like a person who's being pushed down underwater. What does that person want? Breath of air. That's the idea. And as we keep on building up this devotion to God, slowly what happens? Like I said, it becomes part of the personality and blends within you. Can't separate yourself from this, you can see, separate thing. You cannot separate yourself from that. Then what happens is, even a very slight, you can say, obstruction, I can say, fires you, in the sense of fire, in the sense of it ignites your kind of dormant strength, and you try to push away the obstruction. So similarly, these things are necessary. As it keeps on going higher and higher and higher, your whole soul pours the feet of the Lord, and you don't want anything else but this reality. Uh, Sri Ramakrishna also gives the example of that. There are some who have heard of milk. There are some who have seen milk. There are some who have drank milk. And after drinking, they become fortified. These are the devotees, the highest. We've heard about, we've heard about God. Yeah. Yeah. And then, there's second stages. They have seen God. And the third stage is you become intimate with God. God becomes your very own, your very self. That is the final stage. And this is what happens, that all these things become revealed to you. So what actually is revealed as you unfold yourself and the God within reveals itself, all the truths which has been spoken of as what's the cause of creation, you'll know the secret of the universe. That's why the Upanishad, one of the meaning of the word Upanishad is secret knowledge. What's so secret about it? It's this. No. It's like you'll know the secret of this whole universe. You'll know the secret of existence. You will know why exactly all these things is taking place before you. So that knowledge is absolute knowledge. It comes and shines in everything and in everyone. So this is the last verse here. I'll read it once more. One who has supreme devotion to the deity, Deva, and as much of it to the Guru as to the deity. To such a one, indeed, to the great soul one, these subject matters that have been spoken of in this Upanishad become revealed. Reveal, they shine forth. So what happens is you're not creating a new truth. Truth is always pre-existing, it's always existing from eternity. So what do you do then? These truths, they reveal themselves to you. So it is more like an unfolding, or like Swami uses the word dehypnotization. We are hypnotized with this. Somebody asked, do you know hypnotism? No. Right? Oh, we are already hypnotized. You look at an object for a length of time, you get caught in it. You get hypnotized. It stalls you. So the more objects you have, the more hypnotized. Hmm. So the process is dehypnotization or desuperimposition. It's desuperimposition, as Vedanta says. So this is it. The last two words are repeated. Prakashante Mahatmana, Prakashante Mahatmana. It signals the end of this section of the Upanishads. Now, as you have seen, the sage was sitting with a group of sages, and this was this kind of discussion. And various answers have been proposed, questions have been raised, and this sage, one after another, keeps on answering these questions. And then the initial answer which was proposed, that is, this is the deity, you is the cause of everything. You, the universe, and everything else.
Universe.
And everything else. That becomes revealed. So the closing chant is Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Visavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The translation which is there. Om. May he protect us both, the teacher and the thought, together by revealing knowledge. May he protect us both by vouchsafing the results of knowledge. May we attain vigor together. That is, let us study this thing with vigor, with attention. Let what we study be invigorating. May we not fight with each other, actually, cavil at each other. So, are you fighting with me? Or are you fighting with me? You don't have to fight. This is what is the truth is separate from my differences.
Cavil.
Cavil is the kind of have a kind of a quarrel or criticize. Cavil. criticizing.
Yoga Sutras you mentioned earlier, is that to do with Patanjali?
Patanjali is a author of the. He's not an author of the whole thing. He is called a compiler. He has got his own contribution. He has strung them up into a kind of a sequence, a logical sequence, and then he also kind of clarifies certain things which were in other traditions. He went down to all the yogis then. What are you practicing? What are you practicing? What are you collected all this? Put them in a aphoristic form, what they were teaching, and he brought it out as the sutra. Yeah, because he also mentions through purity one attains everything. Pratibhavat sarvam. Okay, we stop here for now, and as we know, we can keep this open for questions. And the next Wednesday, we take up the Katha Upanishad. There will be just one class a week for starters.
What day?
Wednesday,
Wednesday?
same time,
One week, one time
one time.
a week.
Yeah.
From here on in, it's not going to be twice a week.
We will see. We'll start with one
Nice.
class a week,
Okay,
and then
right.
I've got to rush to San Diego and kind of